Are there any fans of Meghan Markle in tonight? Oh, hang on. There is one lone hand has raised up here. Actually, that is one more than I expected. I have to be honest.
She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip.
Damn!
Which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits.
Do you see any of the real Diana in Meghan? Did you?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh,
sorry.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to be doing another bloody segment on Meghan Markle and Harry.
Once a Soho House basic bitch, always a Soho House basic bitch.
And then the rest of it was, and all the racism claims turned out to be bullshit. The mental health claims were all of it was bullshit, designed to damage and attack the royal family, the monarchy, and all of it.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on.
Back in her early days, she was totally reliant on Soho House to pay for her travel, to pay for her accommodation.
I don't want to be doing another bloody segment on Meghan Markle and Harry.
Imagine casually flipping through TV channels on an ordinary Tuesday night when Piers Morgan suddenly unveils a stack of photos that seemed ripped straight from Meghan Markle's most private chapter.
And then the rest of it was, and all the racism claims turned out to be bullshit. The mental health claims were all of it was bullshit, designed to damage and attack the royal family, the monarchy, and all.
And in that moment, viewers everywhere started questioning whether the public narrative they had been hearing for years was really the full story.
Soho House basic bitch, always a Soho House basic bitch.
For years, Meghan cultivated an image of being an ambitious, relatable woman fighting to make it in Hollywood. But those photos appeared to tell a very different story, one filled with elite circles, exclusive gatherings, and influential connections. Critics immediately wondered why those relationships rarely featured in the humble origin story often shared in interviews.
Are there any fans of Meghan Markle in tonight? Oh, hang on. There is one lone hand has raised up here. Actually, that is one more than I expected. I have to be honest.
The instant those images appeared on screen, social media erupted with speculation. To many observers, it looked like a major challenge to the carefully crafted public persona that had been presented for years. This wasn't just another celebrity controversy. It became a debate about image, perception, and authenticity.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on.
What many commentators found striking was the contrast between public transparency and private history. Old social media content had vanished, certain photographs seemed difficult to find, and many figures from earlier chapters of her life rarely spoke publicly. Then suddenly, images that had largely stayed out of the spotlight were being discussed before a global audience.
It makes them newsworthy. So you either then ignore what people are talking about and debating and having all the silly stuff. She's living the life she probably wanted all along.
Yes.
A life of unparalleled luxury and riches that she got by marrying her handsome British prince. She's living back in the state that she came from.
The conversation didn't slowly build, it exploded overnight. And perhaps the most remarkable part was that the images themselves became the center of attention. No dramatic narration was required. So buckle up, because this story extends far beyond royal headlines. We're talking about powerful connections, ambitious networking, shifting relationships, and questions about a past that continues to spark intense debate. And this is only the beginning.
You know, this is what Meghan has been doing. She's a piece of Klingon, like she clings to somebody who can get her there. So Meghan manages to befriend one person of a very popular group, and then that person introduces her to the others. And because she's being brought in by somebody they trust, she's welcome.
The studio lights were glowing when Piers Morgan leaned forward and revealed the photographs that would instantly dominate headlines. There was no theatrical countdown and no exaggerated suspense. He simply presented them with a calm confidence that made the moment feel even more dramatic. The reaction was immediate. Social media exploded within minutes. Hashtags began trending across multiple platforms, and clips of the broadcast spread online at lightning speed, reaching millions before the show had even ended. Here's where things became even more controversial. These weren't ordinary snapshots from a forgotten party or a random night out.
He knows, and everybody all around the world, that you would want to know the Vil Black Book. And he's never betrayed a confidence. He's never made a slip.
Critics argued that the images appeared to showcase a lifestyle of exclusivity, influence, and high-profile connections that seemed difficult to reconcile with the public narrative of a struggling actress working her way through Hollywood. Online commentators quickly began revisiting timelines, comparing interviews, and raising questions they felt had never been fully addressed. Yet what fueled the debate wasn't merely what the photos showed, it was what many believed they suggested about a chapter of her life that had remained largely out of public view.
And here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001, when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year.
What made this situation even more intriguing to observers was the lack of an immediate response. This was the same public figure whose team had previously pushed back forcefully against unfavorable coverage. Yet when these images began circulating, there were no headline-making rebuttals, no public outrage, and no detailed explanations. The silence itself became part of the story. Adding another layer to the drama was Meghan's well-known history with Piers Morgan. Years before royal headlines dominated the news cycle, the two reportedly met for drinks in London. Shortly afterward, Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry became public, and Piers would later become one of her most vocal critics. Following the Oprah interview, their public feud intensified dramatically, turning a disagreement into one of the most talked-about celebrity media clashes of recent years.
Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University. According to people, she got started her yachting days, and she never stopped, really. I don't think any of her boyfriends knew about it, but Meghan Markle was known as a hardcore yacht partying person, ready for any.
To critics, the leaked photographs represented more than just another news segment. They became symbolic ammunition in a long-running debate over image, perception, and authenticity. But another name repeatedly surfaced in discussions surrounding Meghan's rise through influential social circles: Marcus Anderson. Often described as a key figure within Soho House, Anderson has long been associated with Meghan's social network. While both have publicly characterized their relationship as a friendship, commentators frequently pointed to the timing of various connections and introductions that appeared throughout her journey from actress to global celebrity. Because of his position within exclusive circles, some online observers speculated about how much access he may have had to private events, photographs, and influential networks operating behind the scenes.
Harry, who's that standing next to the Queen? Is that a servant? That's what Harry wrote in his book Spare.
For those who study celebrity culture, figures like Anderson often become subjects of fascination because they occupy spaces where influence, opportunity, and networking intersect. Rumors have circulated for years suggesting that he played a meaningful role in helping connect people within elite social environments. Some online theories even claim he served as an informal strategist or advisor. More intriguingly, a number of the photographs discussed by commentators appeared connected to locations and events closely associated with those exclusive circles. As a result, speculation intensified regarding who may have had access to such material and why it was resurfacing now. The debate only grew louder as long-standing rumors about Meghan's early social life once again spread across the internet.
How stupid is this man that he actually believes it, or is it that he wanted to believe?
Among the most persistent topics were the so-called yacht rumors that have circulated online for years. While many claims and photographs shared on social media have been disputed or debunked, the speculation has never entirely disappeared. Supporters dismiss these stories as baseless gossip, while critics argue that certain patterns and timelines deserve closer examination. The renewed attention centered on questions about luxury travel, elite gatherings, and influential social networks that appeared inconsistent with the more modest image some believed had been presented publicly. These discussions gained momentum not because of new evidence alone, but because the leaked photographs encouraged people to revisit old questions through a new lens. The conversation intensified further when Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, unintentionally drew additional attention to Meghan's connection with Soho House. His descriptions of the venue portrayed it as a familiar and significant place during their early relationship, leading some readers to wonder whether its importance had previously been understated. That detail reignited broader discussions about how Meghan gained access to some of the world's most exclusive social circles. Critics questioned whether her rise from television actress to internationally recognized public figure involved more influential connections than had been publicly acknowledged. Others argued that Harry's personal recollections revealed a level of familiarity with elite environments that contrasted with the more relatable image often highlighted in interviews. Whether intentional or not, readers found themselves examining details that previously received little attention. As those memoir excerpts were compared with the leaked photographs, the debate evolved beyond the images themselves and focused increasingly on the public response, or lack thereof. For a figure frequently associated with carefully managing public perception, Meghan's silence became one of the most discussed aspects of the controversy. Observers noted that previous disputes had often been met with swift reactions, legal challenges, or public statements. Yet this situation appeared different. No major clarification emerged, leaving critics and supporters alike to fill the information vacuum with their own interpretations. As a result, speculation continued to grow across media platforms and online communities.
She'd been a deal or no deal girl, and she was calling herself a model, and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits, it was on her yachting trips, because that's where the money was.
Media analysts offered competing explanations. Some suggested that responding directly could have amplified the controversy, while others argued that remaining silent only encouraged further scrutiny. Whatever the reasoning, the discussion expanded beyond individual photographs and into a larger conversation about reinvention, personal branding, and public image. Critics pointed to different stages of Meghan's life and career, arguing that certain chapters seemed to fade from public view as new narratives emerged. Supporters countered that personal growth and changing circumstances naturally lead people to present different versions of themselves over time. Yet for many observers, the Soho House era remains a focal point because it appears to represent a version of Meghan that doesn't easily fit the simple fairy tale narrative often associated with her royal story. That is why these photographs generated such intense interest. To critics, they weren't merely old images resurfacing online. They symbolized unanswered questions about influence, connections, and image management. As the latest wave of discussion continues across social media, one thing remains clear: public fascination with Meghan Markle's past shows no signs of fading. Every resurfaced photograph, every conflicting interpretation, and every unanswered question keeps the conversation alive. While Piers Morgan's on-air reveal may have reignited the debate, it is the broader questions surrounding celebrity image, public perception, and personal reinvention that continue driving interest. And for many commentators, the biggest mystery is not what has already been revealed, but whether there are still untold chapters waiting to emerge.